Now joined by our close friend of the show, Lil Wayne. Thank you so much for joining us today. And congrats on the success of your new radio show.
Thank you.
Even getting Skip talking, which is always a good sign. Skip, I'm going to hand this over your way.
Yeah. Hey, we appreciate you being with us again today.
What's up, Skip? What's up, Unc?
Good morning.
I'm good, nephew.
Yeah. Hey, let me begin by framing what I'm about to ask you about. You grew up in what's called the Holly Grove neighborhood of New Orleans, which was patrolled by cops that you used to refer to as jump out boys because they had their doors cracked, ready to jump out and sometimes jump on black people for no apparent reason.
But they ain't have no other people around.
You got it. But you told last Friday a story on your new radio show, which is tremendous, but you told a story about one white cop who wasn't the usual bad white cop. One white cop who became a lifesaver for you. So take it away and tell us the story, if you would, please.
Okay, yeah. There's a cop in New Orleans. I referred to him as Uncle Bob. When I was 12 years old, I had an incident. I shot myself. I was in the house alone. When the police came to the door, I was able to slide all the way to the door, kick the door so they can hear that someone is actually in the apartment because I thought they left. I heard them knocking on the door, like asking somebody in there, but then they stopped. So I said, I got to get to this door. I kicked the door. They was like, someone's in there. They knocked the door off the hinges. I was right there on the floor. They all just jumped right over me. That's their job, I guess, and did what they had to do. And so one guy ran. He ran. Everybody just running up to, running up, meeting me at the door and jumping over. The one guy came. He's like, do nobody see this child? Do nobody see this baby on the floor with this hole in his chest? And it was like, yes. But I found the gun. I found him. He was like, I don't care what you found, somebody. And so all I could remember was him just grabbing me. He was like, they was like, we got an ambulance. He was like, I'm not waiting for no ambulance. And then he put me in a car. He got me there. That's Uncle Bob's story when that happened. Now, what I want people to know is I have a father. His name is Baby. Some people call him Birdman, Stun or whatever. Uncle Bob been a policeman in New Orleans. And something I found out that I didn't have to tell everybody, but I tell them now. Uncle Bob is the same police, same cop that put my father in jail for years. I found that out by Baby seeing who Uncle Bob was and being like, wait, that's Uncle Bob? And I'm like, yeah, that's Uncle Bob. Why, you know him? And seeing how Uncle Bob react about Baby. So I sit down and talk to Baby, but he said, let me tell you something about him. He said, now that I see who you're talking about, that this story doesn't surprise me. He said, because that guy always treated us like we were his sons. So when he would come, if he chasing after, he's not about to bring us to jail. He's about to chase us down and scold us and take whatever we have on us. But if it's the 39th time, we going to jail. And so he was like, but he always had a heart. He said, and also he saw me years later when I became who I am, Birdman, in the mall. He was a mall security. He said, I walked past him and he stopped me and he just wanted to tell me, you may not remember who I am. He said, but I told him, I remember who you are. He said, but I just want to know I'm happy to see you turned out to be what you turned out to be and who and how. How I told Baby, I know you're not lying, is because when I saw Uncle Bob years later in a restaurant and found out and walked up to him and said, hey, he said, listen, I don't want you to pay for my meal. I don't want you to do nothing. I don't need anything. I'm just happy to see you turned out to be who you are and how you are. Mm-hmm. Now, that's Uncle Bob's story and everything, and that's my story and that's Baby's story. Mm-hmm. People taking it, flipping it, and saying I'm this and I'm that and that. but I can't do too much about it but live my story.
So do you believe he saved your life? Do you think you would have bled to death?
Oh, I know he saved my life. What I found out once I spoke to him, years later, I found out was there was EMT there. And he said when he got there, they had told him that they tried 3 times. And he said that was some kind of procedure, I guess, up there, is that if you try 3 times, that's it. He said, but he saw life in me. And for me to remember all the things that I told him, he was like, well, obviously you were there. He's like, because all the things you're saying happened. He's like, we didn't know you knew that was happening, that you knew what was going on. But like I said, he said they tried 3 times. He didn't. He refused to live with that.
I think the thing is that I think people have heard you say, well, there's no racism. And you're looking at it from a perspective like, okay, there's good cops. And it seems like you're willing to give, like, there are good cops the benefit of the doubt. But it seems like on the other side, they're unwilling to say they're good black people. It seems to me like all black men are being treated like thugs. And they judge us, they judge one of our bad apples, they paint that whole brush over the entire race, where you was willing to give like, nah, all of them aren't bad. One actually saved my life. Where you were willing to give them that courtesy, they seem to be unwilling to give us courtesy likewise.
But that said, I'm willing to give Uncle Bob that courtesy.
Right.
I wasn't speaking for no one else.
Right.
And I specified that every time I speak about it. I said, that's Uncle Bob's story. That's my story. And that's that. Everything else is what everything it is. And that's all. I mean, people take one thing you say and flip it, so.
And by the way, quick point of order. I had read before that you accidentally shot yourself, but then I heard recently that you intended to shoot yourself at that point at age 12, right?
Yeah, mental health is serious. Yeah, I was a kid going through a lot at the time.
Yep.
I thought I was.
So you see what's going on, the George Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think we're going to finally see the change that Dr. King and so many of our ancestors, they fought for, they marched for, they died behind? Do you think we're finally about to see the change that they never got a chance to see, that we're going to finally get the opportunity to start seeing in 2020 and moving forward?
I think any positive change is still not enough.
Right.
So I'm not sure whatever, if we'll ever accomplish what our ancestors would have loved to see. But I definitely think change is coming. How much change, I don't know.
So, Wayne, obviously a lot of white kids through the years have loved your music and grew up on your music. And Shannon and I keep talking about how many white kids we see at the protests now, marching, demonstrating with their black brothers and sisters. I've never seen anything like this. Could that indicate a turning point, a watershed sort of moment where white America is listening to the evils inflicted upon the black community more than ever? Is that fair to say? Do you sense that?
I think that sight alone speaks to that, Skip. I was in LA last week, and they were protesting outside the room. I looked outside my balcony, and like you said, it was majority, if not white, it wasn't a majority of black people out there. And that right there was, I actually, I stopped and looked, instead of just looking outside that made me stop and say, wow. So I guess, like I said, that's a sight. Not sure how much change is coming, though.
Welcome back to Undisputed. Lil Wayne still joining us, and I gotta ask him about his Packers, because the moment Green Bay made the decision to draft a quarterback, Jordan Love, everyone started thinking about Aaron Rodgers and his future. So Wayne, gotta ask you first, how will Aaron Rodgers react if Green Bay instills some packages for Jordan Love this season.
Aaron's a true professional. We know that Aaron's going to, if anything, he's going to try to make the most out of those plays and try to do the best to make them successful plays, whatever you want to call it. But that's also not be too surprised if he just take his helmet off and walk off the field and then come back.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So how shocked were you that they drafted Jordan Love that high? Did you just fall off your chair that night on draft night?
You know how you try to act like you know what's going on?
Yeah.
And you know why somebody did something because it's your team. You feel like, I know why we did that. I was like, it just broke down right there. I couldn't keep it going. I didn't know why we did that. I don't know what's going on. I want to hit Aaron up, ask him how he was doing, tell him don't jump. You know?
Yeah.
But it's, look, nephew, it's the same thing. If they take a quarterback, they move up to get him. They're looking for him to replace you sooner rather than later. And Aaron handled it like I thought he would. He was upset, and, he's like, I'm going to go out here and play. But he knows the likelihood of him finish his career in Green Bay is probably not going to happen now.
Yeah, that was the writing on the wall. No. If he had any doubts or anything, they let him know right there.
Mm. So what are you hearing about Jordan Love? We've heard anything from next Patrick Mahomes to, that could be a bust. What's your gut feeling?
I watched him a bit. When I hit a Patrick Mahomes, I saw flashes, not too many, though, to make it just a Patrick Mahomes comparison. But I love that if that's the situation. But Skip, I'm still Aaron Rodgers right here.
I got you.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Was that a flash or a flashlight? I mean, there's two different things. When you gotta hit it, and then it come on. It flashed a few times. You have to hit the flashlight and then see if. So let me ask it's not a lightsaber yet. Let me ask you a question. If Aaron Rodgers moves on, are you taking your loyalties with Aaron Rodgers, or are you staying in Green Bay?
I'm a cheesehead for life.
Oh, man, come on, man. You got to go with your guy. That's your guy.
That's my guy. I'm going to go with whatever team he with. I'm rocking with them. They my people. But, I'm a cheesehead for life. I'm Brett Favre. That's the reason why I'm there.
So look back at last year. I've made the case here on our show. Little bit fraudulent to be 13-3. There's some luck involved.
Try to make that case every time you bring it up. I want to just throw something at the screen.
So unmake it for me. Was it a legit 13-3 last year?
Skip, it was very legit. It was very legit. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. We're in a very tough division. It's cold out there. You know what I mean? And but we ran into them people, Skip, and we weren't ready for them.
You were not ready.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
I've made the case that another Aaron on the team, not named Rodgers, named Jones, was the MVP of that team. I love that little man.
I love him too.
I think he carried you a long way by making a lot of big plays and a lot of big run after catches that helped Aaron Rodgers look a little better than maybe he was.
Without having to go to Cabo. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what? They were 13-3, Weezy, but you know what could have happened? The Dallas Cowboys played them. They could have hung an L on them and made them 12-4. But that didn't happen, did it?
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You already know how that goes.
Wait a second. We won the second half. Doesn't that count?
What?
If you win the first, if you win the second half, that means you win the game. Isn't that right?
You know how he good with that? Yeah, we won this, the QBR and all.
Yeah.
Skip, what was the final score?
I forget.
Exactly.
Hey, if my sorry kicker hadn't missed a field goal at the end, at least we would have had an onside kick that we probably would have recovered. And Dak he was hot, man. By then he had warmed up.
Oh, you hear?
And he probably would have thrown a touchdown pass that would have tied the score, and we probably would have won in overtime.
Probably woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
All that.
You hear him talking about how Dak was hot, but he don't want Dak to get his money. Weezy, you watch the show? Go ahead, talk to him.
I was about to say, you sure Dak gonna be there?
I'm not sure, because he's asking for way too much money. He's asking for beyond Mahomes money. And even this man across from me, who despises Dak Prescott, who gave him Fs for almost every game he played last year, including the Green Bay game.
No, he didn't.
When he threw for like 254 in the last quarter. This man wants him to get overpaid to wreck my salary cap. So we all see through Shannon Sharpe.
Weezy, did you notice what? I never heard when Dak was making $400,000, anybody say he was underpaid. Let's give him a pay raise. Now he about to get this payday. Oh man, Dak ain't that good. He ain't better than Mahomes.
He don't deserve all this. You know, whoa. I know that man Dak got to be like, man, that's how you feel, huh?
Yeah, Skip. That's Skip.
Wow.
I love the man. I've said he's a top 10. I rank him 10th in the NFL. Should 10th be paid first? I don't think so.
Get your money, man.
Hey, $36 million on the table right now is more than fair for Dak Prescott. But he and his new agent want 40-something million a year. That's out of bounds.
That's a great agent.
Great agent.
Yeah, until
that man is doing his job.
Yeah, his agent has now alienated Boss Hogg up there, Jerry Jones. And once you alienate that man, you got issues, long-term issues.
I think Dak about to get his money, Skip.
I hope so. I hope he comes to his senses and takes the big money that's on the table.
Nah, it ain't come to no senses.
Yeah.
They always try to get somebody for nothing. Go on and get that money, Dak.
Yeah.
Get that money, Dak. Get that bag.
Yeah. All right, let's talk NBA. We're about to have a sprint to the championship finish line. It's coming up. God, help us, God. Bring it back as soon as possible. Who do you like in the sprint to the finish? You still like the Lakers?
I love the Lakers.
Do you?
I believe we were on a run. We were on a tear anyway. We were about to show everybody what we were going to do anyway. I believe we starving. We're not hungry. We're starving. We're starving to get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got a break because your guy who's in his 17th season got 4 months off right there after he made his MVP case. But are you sure a rusty Lakers might not run into a dangerous 8 seed like Portland or maybe even Zion's team? Yeah.
I'm not worried. Yeah,
Shannon Sharpe claims he's not worried.
You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Weezy, how long you been in this? Weezy, how long you been in this business? 17, 18 years? 20?
18, huh?
18. You ain't getting old. You slowing down?
Nah.
Okay, Go James ain't slowing down either. They want you to slow down. They want him to slow down. But we going strong.
No.
We going strong.
What's the GOAT of? I don't even know what he's...
GOAT James.
The GOAT of Akron, NBA. Ohio? Or,
GOAT of the NBA.
I give you that.
NBA.
Really?
Yes. Everybody knows that.
That's King James, huh?
Wait, yeah, that's King James, who used to be Prince James.
That's the GOAT.
Yeah. Did anybody watch The Last Dance but me? Maybe I was the only one who watched it. I don't know.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
By the way, Mr. Wayne, who is the GOAT of the NBA? Is it Jordan or LeBron, please?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. A politically correct answer, if there ever was one, right?
But you know what? We're working on a documentary right now, Weezy. LeBron James, How I Became the GOAT. That's going to be released in about 10 years. Yeah, it's going to be a 20-part series.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, y'all come just sit down and talk to me. I got something behind the scenes.
Yeah, now look at that.
I wonder if I'll get interviewed for that doc.
Absolutely not.
So you don't want any objectivity?
You're going to definitely have to come talk to me over that.
You heard what he said, Weezy? Oh, y'all don't want any objectivity. Was there any objectivity in The Last Dance?
In The Last Dance?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
A lot of objectivity.
Really?
Well,
he got edited out.
Well, Horace Grant got to speak a lot of his speech.
He did.
Horace Grant spoke like approximately 8 seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so what about that team that has to live in the basement of Staples? That team called the Clippers, the ugly stepchildren of Los Angeles?
They got the spot.
Are they going to be allowed up? Are they going to come up into the bright lights and maybe make a run at the Lakers in the conference finals?
You mean it? I don't know about all that.
No?
No.
So you have no fear of the Clippers, of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and Doc Rivers and Patrick Beverly, and I can go Lou Williams. I can go on and on and on.
You keep going, but no, I still have no fear.
No fear.
No.
Stop it, Skip.
I'm going to start it.
Why would you ever fear your little brother?
Because it's becoming your big brother. Hey, Shannon Sharpe grew up on Sterling Sharpe. At some point, he grew up on him.
Yeah. Hey, Weezy, as a matter of fact, they need to move out of our house anyway. We tired of them. Y'all need to get y'all own place.
They're building their own.
Starting to smell like y'all.
Yeah, y'all. All of a sudden, y'all smelling yourself. Get out.
Yeah.
Wayne, thank you so much for joining us today. I missed this.
Thanks for having me.
I need to get you in studio soon.
You're the best. You're the GOAT.
Wait.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.